My name is Robert and I'm the head of the Cook family, and we are on Carinya Farms at Edi Upper, which is a large dairy farm in the King Valley nowadays. Yes, the King Valley originally had 80 dairy farms and they dropped out by the advent of stainless steel, bulk milk vats, and then in the 50s the tobacco industry arrived and all those small farms were bought up and actually divided up. And we've got a small tobacco farm which we bought that used to keep 5 families. And you know, with 5 sons we just had to grow, so we purchased 5 dairy farms, and the herd has grown from those 25 cows that I started milking to now just on 500 milking cows. It is very labour intensive, 365 days of the year, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, 24/7. I've seen things that I never thought would change, but really it's been a very good trip. And the only thing, probably, if someone gave me tomorrow's paper and if I had the numbers that come up on Saturday night, I don't think it'd change anything. The farm was bought and taken on in the 20s, about 1925, by my parents. My father died when I was 14, so that's why I became a dairy farmer when I was 14. I always left school, didn't like school anyway. It is a 4th generation farm. My wife and I started here together in 1960 when I milked 25 cows. The herd gave approximately 3 gallons of milk a day, which is 15 litres. The herd today averages 40 litres per cow. Top cows are doing 70 litres, and the farm has gone from 12 cans of cream a week to 17,000 litres of milk a day.
I was actually born in the Upper Murray at Corryong, and my father was a dairy farmer and he moved to Chishunt, which is just up the top of the King Valley, when I was 8. So I've lived here in the King Valley since I was 8, and I met Robert at a local football dance, and we were finally married in 1961, and we settled here on the dairy farm. Robert built a new home here beside his mother's home, and that's where we settled in. And we had a family of 5 boys. We all bogged in and worked together when they were young, and I was milking twice a day with Robert, and the boys would always help when they were home from school, and they seemed to enjoy the outdoor life, and didn't matter what was going on. They were there giving a hand and having fun at the same time. So 2 of them are here with us still, share farming, and they have their own families now. We have 19 grandchildren in all. Our eldest one is 22, and they range right down to 18 months of age. And we hope that maybe someday that they'll carry on the farm.
We're off to the dairy. When I left school, I had a passion for cows and perhaps breeding cows, and my father was very happy for me to take on that role right from a young age, and I just wanted to leave school and come home and milk cows, and which sounded a bit bizarre to all my mates at the time, but all I wanted to do was be a dairy farmer. I don't have many regrets. Dairy farming's been good to me in the last 25 or so years since I've been here. It's a great place to raise a family, and we think we live in a great part of the world here, And being my own boss, I think, really helps too. I guess the differences between when my mother and father were my age and now in farming, in dairy farming, was that the returns perhaps weren't there. They had to work harder. And there were some really tough times in the 70s, and they just weren't able to employ people and have the flexibility that we perhaps do nowadays. But over a period of time, perhaps the last 30 years, we've perhaps focused on building this farm up enough so that we can have outside labour. My brother Steve here as well on the farm, and there's lots of people that can fill in and let other people go for a holiday, and flexibility, I guess, and that's what we want to strive to create even more of, so that everybody's got a pretty good lifestyle.
Well, I left school when I was 16 and decided I'd had enough of school. Done an engineering course at TAFE for 12 months, just finding my feet on deciding what I wanted to do. Come home on the farm after that in 1995, and took up the farm with brother Ross and my parents. I mainly do the mechanicking side of things, which keeps me pretty much out of trouble. Been married 8 years, time flies, and 4 beautiful children, 3 girls and a boy. It's great for kids to grow up. They learn a lot about the animals. They learn a lot about life. They learn about birth. They see the whole cycle, death as well. There's a lot of things that I suppose city kids wouldn't even dream about. But I think it sets you up for life. A lot of those things, as well as pets and all the rest of it. I mean, we class our cows as family members, really. They're all got names. Even though they got their numbers, which we identify them with, every cow has got their own special name. Some names like Phyllis and those sort of things. They're cows that have been around for 30 years or more. That's sort of they go through the kids have got their pets as well. They know those cows. And it's quite good to interact with those animals, and like we say, they're just part of the family, really. Look, it's a good little area here. I don't know any different, I suppose. I've lived here all my life, which is coming up to 35 years. The tranquility, I suppose, it's quiet. Everyone knows everyone in the valley. There's no hustle and bustle. It's a very relaxed sort of lifestyle, I suppose. It's busy when it's got to be busy, but we're pretty lucky here with high rainfall, around the 40 inches. So, that's pretty good throughout the year. Keeps things pretty green. Sometimes you've got to go out of the valley to realise how good it is. Sometimes you've got to get out and when you go for a holiday and see something different, and you come back and say, well, this isn't a bad place to live after all.